Hi guys, Chris here. So gonna try to make orbit again. I'm using the new little cargo bay to store my science equipment at the time. This lets me store the science equipment inside the spaceship so it doesn't cause aerodynamic problems and it doesn't burn up on re-entry. I've also put in a heat shield. And you see I'm also using these bigger boosters instead of the RT-10s. They give more thrust and burn for longer, so they're a much better option really. I'm also going at 90 degrees, going the right direction. Yeah, going in the wrong direction in your orbit makes it much harder. It takes a lot more fuel. Wow, I'm going fast. Look at that air blowing off the side of my spaceship. It's showing how unaerodynamic I am. I've got flat ends to those boosters, so it's going to slow me down quite a bit. I want some pointy things. Unfortunately, I haven't locked that tech yet. Now, this ship's quite a lot longer, and the only control I have is the command module on the end. So I don't have that much control of it, certainly not in the first stage. Now I could just about get a little bit of turn on it. So this is turning as much as I can. I'm just trying to get some sideways speed so it pushes me towards orbit. It gets a bit of a head start. You know, ideally my orbit would be like 73,000 meters, and I'm probably going to overshoot that. Yeah, so on your boosting stage into space, you ideally wanted to reach 70,000 meters, and instead of getting extra height, you're wanting extra sideways speed beyond that. So you want to angle your ship closer and closer towards the horizontal as you go up. Though obviously I'm limited by the map control I have on the ship. So I open my cargo bay, get a bit of science. I'm just going to fast forward until I reach the, apoapsis. The closer you burn to the apoapsis, the more fuel efficient you'll be. So when you've got a big engine, like this is, relative to the side of the ship, you'll get up to orbit relatively quickly. So you can afford to burn relatively close to that apoapsis. And that's the most fuel efficient time to burn. Now, you can get much smaller engines that burn fuel more efficiently, but they give a lot less thrust out, so you can't burn as close to the ideal maneuver point. So you get more fuel efficiency from the ISP of the engine, but you lose it because you can't burn at the ideal point. Right, so there we go, we've got orbit. Got our spaceship. Looking beautiful. Let's send it on a lap. And we're going to try to take it down as close to the space center as possible. We're also going to try to do a nice re-entry. Try out that heat shield. So it's coming around. Now later on, I can just set a maneuver up and then fast forward to maneuver. So there's no chance of me missing my maneuver point. I haven't got that much fuel left, so I'm going to try to burn quite early, I'm thinking. Leave a bit later. Alright, so let's line up for the acceleration. There we go. So I'm lining up in the opposite direction to the direction of travel. See, it's got a little cross on that little yellow marker. That shows it's the opposite. Now I've burned all my fuel, and I'm only just making it into orbit. So I'm going to slowly go down. I've got rid of my engine module. I'm going to have to close that cargo bay at some point, but I can go into atmosphere a little bit And that lets me do like a little bit of science. See, I'm just below space now, so I can get some high altitude readings before I close up this cargo bay. I've got one little science module left there, so I'm going to do that when I hit the ground. So I've probably never been to the ground, the place on the ground at least, that I'm going to land on. So I'm going to do a little bit of science there. I'm spinning quite a lot. This spins all from the atmosphere. Now the spaceship is wanting to go nose first. Unfortunately, that's caused by my command module being heavier than the little cargo bay I've got. Since the cargo bay is empty, it doesn't weigh much. And because of that, it's wanting to flip around and go command module first. But I can't have it go that way because the heat shield's on the opposite side. So I'm going to have to manually control it to make sure it goes the right direction. I have to aim at heat shield first. This is going to be a bit tricky. Right, I'm using the SAS, so it's automatically going to try to keep my direction. So I'm going to have to manually change my direction as I begin to slow down and head towards the planet more. Because the SAS will keep going exactly the same direction. There we go. You see I'm a little bit off my direction already. So I'm going to have to maneuver to line up. I'm going to have to keep doing this little maneuvers all the way down. Now if I had more weight towards the heat shield, then obviously you'd want to go heat shield first, so I wouldn't have to make all these adjustments. Look good. I can look at the amount of ablative stuff I've got left. So the heat shield's gradually going to wear out as I expose it to more atmosphere. It shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, if you used it on every planet on the solar system, you'll wear it out and it'll not work anymore. Okay, 18,000 meters. Looks good so far. I'm actually going really, really quickly still. Right, so I've lost about a third of my heat shield. Thousand meters. I'm below 1,000 meters a second. There we go. It's really wanted to spin out now. It's quite hard to control. I think it's probably the hardest thing about using the heat shield. It's going to be trying to keep it in the right direction. 4,000 meters. And there goes the parachute. So it's wobbling a little bit as the spaceship slows down. Where am I? Alright, so I'm about a quarter of the planet away. Not too bad. I'm going to open this again. See if I can get some new science. No, not really. So let's reset it. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to get some measurements from the ocean. Okay, parachute opening. Get a crew report. Every little bit of science counts. Now the ground's going to be at precisely 0 meters because it's ocean. If you land on the ground or in mountains, then the ground's going to be quite a lot higher. I'm going to open this. I'm going to expose all of my samples to water. Never mind. And get a little bit more science. Then recover. Boom. My first orbital flight. And this should mean that Jebediah levels up. So lots of sites. Get my money back from the parts. Not a very big percentage. And we have leveled up Jebediah. That's mission complete. Successful orbital flight. Let's find something new to do.